Welcome to another episode of Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, hanging out in the CDS Office Technology Studio in downtown Quincy. My compadre is not here yet. He had to go out and shoot some volleyball highlights tonight. He will be here. I know he's on his way or shortly on his way. So Chris Stewart will be joining me whenever he gets back. We do have a loaded show planned for you tonight. Really excited about our guests. We're going to have two in-studio guests tonight, kicking it off with Rayson Miller, Palmyra Senior, joining us here in studio at about 7:15. And then Ben Shelp, Quincy High School linebacker, will be joining us at 7:30. And then in hour number 2, we're going to go to the Hess Auto Agency hotline for a pair of interviews. Truman State linebacker, safety. We got to talk to him about what his true position is. Robert Gail, a Highland graduate, will be joining us at the top of the hour. And then at the bottom of the hour, a college football analyst and publisher of an online sports magazine type, kind of like we are here at Muddy River Sports. Jeff Rab Johns, former co-worker of mine, who now runs Peegs.com, which primarily concentrates on Indiana University basketball and football and all other sports. Obviously, the Hoosiers with a big victory over Illinois the other night, but Jeff is well-versed in all national football, college football across the nation, as well as GLVC, because he used to work in the GLVC. So we're going to talk to him about a lot of different college football things. We also have Shuck 'em Up coming up in hour number 2, so look forward to that. We got a pretty good one. A backside sack of a quarterback, where the quarterback ended up face down. Pretty hard hit, so look forward to seeing that in hour number 2. That'll be Shuck 'em Up, brought to you by Platte Daddy Barbecue. And again, we had a fun weekend. We got a big week ahead of us in hour number 2. Chris Stewart is here. He's standing outside. He's like worried about coming in. I think we should get him to come in and sit down and put his mic on. But he's hiding from me at the moment. So I guess he's going to wait till the next commercial break. So let's run through the scoreboard from week 4, talk a little bit about those games. Then we'll get Dewar in here. We'll get to our guest who's already in studio. Really excited about that one coming up. As you can see, we're wearing orange. Chris will have his orange t-shirt on when he comes in here. These are t-shirts being made by the Palmyra community for JT Thomas, the senior who suffered the spinal cord injury in the game at Macon. Tony Williams, thanks for hooking us up with these. But Chris and I are both going to be wearing these tonight. You can pick yours up over in Palmyra. There's ways to get that. There's ways to donate to JT's cause. And again, good reports coming out of Columbia that he's made progress almost every day, it sounds like. So prayers up for JT. And again, we'll talk more about that here coming up in a little bit. But those Palmyra kids really got after it last Friday night in JT's honor. So we'll get to those scores here in a minute. Let's kick it off with our Week 4 scoreboard, brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota. Quincy High School with a 53-6 victory over Rock Island on the road. That was the Blue Devils' 17th consecutive Western Big Six Conference victory, which set the all-time conference record. And the interesting thing about that, and we'll talk more about that when Ben Shelp comes in to join us at the bottom of the hour, but the Blue Devils have 2 of the 3 longest Western Big Six Conference losing streaks. Over 30 games, both of them. They had lost 23 consecutive at one point in their career, or one point in the series, to Rock Island. Now they've won 17 straight, all-time conference record. Got a big game Friday night against Moline at Flynn Stadium to see if they can keep that going. Maybe the game that decides the conference title. We'll see. We got a couple other teams out there with knocking on the door, but the Quincy and Moline seem to be the two setting themselves apart right now. So we'll see what happens come Friday night at Flynn Stadium. Also, Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin in its matchup with Quincy Notre Dame. Cyclones win 42-26. To get a little bit of revenge for losing to the Raiders last year. Raiders were in that game right up until the end. They've got a big bounce-back game this week against Springfield. Again, no easy games in the Central State 8 Conference. So we'll see what happens. Back at Advanced Physical Therapy Field this week. Hannibal in its North Central Missouri Conference opener, its last season in the NCMC, takes care of Fulton 58-0. Number 1 ranked Camp Point Central rolls over Beardstown 62-0. Panthers scored 29 seconds into the game on a pick 6 by Cale Niekamp, and it was over. Brown County, 47-0 over Unity Payson. That Brown County Camp Point Central matchup coming up next week. Week 6 on the schedule. That's going to be fun. 2 state-ranked teams there. Carrollton over Winchester West Central, 15-12. Greenfield Northwestern over Pleasant Hill, 43-6. There's your WIVC games. Now in the Lincoln Trail Prairie Land, Macomb over Bureau Valley, 42-16. Farmington over Illini West, 35-0. Knoxville over West Hancock, 35-28. West Hancock and Illini West go head-to-head this week. Macomb went up to Bureau Valley last week. Gets another long road trip this week as they go south to Breeze Mater Dei. Great place. If you've never been to a game in Breeze and you ever happen to be there on a Friday night, check it out. There's a park within walking distance of the field, and they do a phenomenal tailgating. They invite the opponent's fans to come and join them. A lot of times they feed the opposing team, depending on who it is and if it's not a rivalry or something. But again, if you're ever down in the Breeze area, and my buddy Jeremy Chago, who lives in Breeze, owns a bar in Breeze, go check it out. He's got football helmets all over. That's his decor in there. It's really cool. Rushville Industry, 54-6 over South Fulton. Those were your Lincoln Trail Prairie Land games from last week. Williamsville, state-ranked, beats Pittsfield, 64-26. No easy games in the Sangamo for Pittsfield. Now we head to the Clarence Cannon Conference. Monroe City over Centralia, 38-34. Monroe City scored with 41 seconds left in regulation to win that game. They also had a touchdown at the end of the first half on an incredible tightrope play where I can't think of his first name. Just my mind escapes. Hollins, his last name, made the catch in the back of the end zone. And perfect video view from our guy, Thad Requet. You could see his feet were in bounds. You could see it on the video. So there was no disputing it. But again, huge win for Monroe City. Moved up to number 7 in the state rankings this week. Another team that's still getting votes in the state rankings as of this week. On a roll after last week. 67-20 over Highland. Palmyra bounced back from that loss to Macon. Obviously playing for JT Thomas. Huge win for the Panthers on the road in CCC play. Also in CCC play, Clark County over South Shelby, 14-8. In the Eastern Missouri Conference, North Callaway over Bowling Green, 60-12. Wright City over Louisiana, 27-14. That was a Thursday night game this past week. Van Far over Mark Twain, 40-0. In 8-man football, Knox County beat Bishop LeBlond, 44-16. North Shelby over Wellington Napoleon, 42-28. And up in southeast Iowa, Burlington takes care of Keokuk, 62-27. Big rivalry game for the Chiefs this week. They will be back at home taking on Fort Madison. The Bloodhounds come to Keokuk. So big game there coming up in southeast Iowa this coming Friday. Actually, we got a lot of big games coming up this week. And we'll have Chris Dewar and I chatted about it earlier today to make sure we got everything lined up for next week or for this coming weekend. We're going to try to get it to as many places as we can Friday night. Continue to bring you the Muddy River Blitz, electrified by Excel Physical Therapy. Check it out every Saturday morning. Tons of work done by Chris Dewar and our staff. Shane Holsey going to a game and giving us a complete report. He was over in Highland on Friday night. Fantastic report on the Panthers' victory over the Cougars. Again, we're getting videos from other places. We'll have the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard, the Muddy Night Lights scoreboard. We'll get it up as soon as I can get home and get it typed up on Friday nights. But we posted social media. We posted to our website. So make sure you check it all out. You guys have asked for it. We're trying to give you as many scores as we possibly can. And we're going to try to get our conference scoreboards and schedules updated soon. So look forward to that. We are going to take a break. My cohort just trying to sneak into the building, but he's here.
Quit ratting me out.
So Chris Dewar is here. We're going to take a commercial break, let him get set up, and our first in-studio guest is here as well. He beat Dewar. How about that? So stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
We're at the forefront. We're at the cutting edge of our industry right now.
Whether it's dry needling, blood flow restriction,
from performance prevention, therapy, all those aspects, it's all under one roof. I see huge returns as far as athletes getting better quicker.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
Small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes, from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
The aging population has more needs, and they respond really well to what we do.
you don't have to live in pain every day.
Whether it's pain, whether it's motion, whether it's strength, they have a better quality of life just by providing an intervention.
If you're not sure, just come in for a consultation.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Hey, look who I found!
There was a lot of traffic coming back from the volleyball game. Everybody in town wanted to stop me from getting here.
Well, and we talked about this earlier today. We thought, it's like, plenty of time to get there by 7 o'clock.
Early start. The early start was 6:30, not 6. The story of my life, Matt Shuckman.
And hey, it's good to have you here.
It's good to be here on a Monday night.
Orange t-shirt.
I'll tell you what, these are very, very awesome t-shirts, and what a great thing, not just Palmyra, but everybody in the entire tri-state community has done.
I had several people reach out to me on social media. People DM me on Twitter or on X and be like, hey, do you know any information about donations? So people want to support JT. They want to support the Panthers. They want to support his family. People care.
It's a very caring community, and we've got great people. And, like I said, I always say when one of us rises, everybody rises with. When one of us falls, everybody's there to try to pick them up.
Well, his teammates rose to the occasion last Friday night.
Impressive work by the Palmyra Panthers.
No question about it.
Given all the emotions of the last couple of weeks, you had the Bowling Green win, then you had some disciplinary stuff, and then the JT thing happens. Yep. And I tell you what, you have to give credit to the Panthers for the resolve and the composure they showed pulling it all together last week at Island.
Well, and one of the guys that talked to our buddy Shane Holsey after the game is here in studio with us tonight, right here in the CDS Office Technology Studio. Rayson Miller, thank you for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely, I'm glad to be here.
What was last week like for you guys? How emotional was the week itself and then the lead up to Friday night?
I think the week itself, it was obviously very emotional not having a guy like JT at practice, what he commands on the field and off the field, not just in football, but going through that week in school, not seeing him there, knowing that, he's in that position that he's in, and then Friday, knowing that he's not in the locker room, getting hyped with us, and then going onto the field and then him not being there, I'm used to, looking back there on crisscross and knowing that he might give me a rough handoff or something. But going into that game, we knew we had to come in and be mentally strong. I mean, it's not the worst adversity we faced. I mean, we dealt with Ryland early in the season, then we dealt with Kaysen against Bowling Green, and then having Wyatt out against Macon. And, it's probably the toughest one we'll face, but we know we have to be mentally strong in our heads.
I thought your chemistry with all of the different guys in that offensive backfield, yourself included, you looked so good against Bowling Green. And the fact that every time you took a punch, in that game even, you found ways to counter. And you're still doing that. And that's no discredit to anybody. But the sum here is really more than any individual, isn't it? The whole matters more, I guess, with what you're doing?
Absolutely. I feel like it's more of a team thing than individually. I mean, Coach Hutch has preached it all along to be dependable to each other, not just one another. You know, don't be selfish in a way, but make sure that if some guy messes up, they know that you'll be there to pick them up to still get the win. You know what I mean?
First year under head coach Justin Hutchings, how has the adjustment to him and the way he likes to do things and how he wants his program run gone for you guys?
Believe it or not, it's really easy.
Yeah.
He loves his players. I mean, he cares about them. He's really, you know, if you have something that interferes with football, he'll let you out a couple minutes early to go deal with that, or you know, something easy. But offensively, we really picked it up really well because, to be honest, we didn't graduate much. I mean, for the past 3-4 years, we've had the same guys starting. The only thing we had to adjust with was the new playbook, and to be honest with you, it's been really easy because we've had the same guys.
Well, it was interesting, obviously, after JT got injured and on that Friday night, and then I talked to Coach Hutchings on that Saturday. And when he and I got on the phone, neither one of us knew what to say, what to talk about. Yeah. Neither one of us had ever been through that in 30-plus years for both of us around the game. But the emotion he poured out, not just about JT, but about all of you guys, made me go, wow, the right guy's in that position. Mm-hmm. Is that how it felt to you guys in the way he embraced the moment?
I think so. I mean, Friday, I went there to go see him, and he was right behind me, and he was supporting about it, and I could tell seeing him in the waiting room, he was pretty stung about it. You know, he wasn't really talking like all of us. He was sitting there very focused on what happened, and you know, when he came back to practice, he let us know that everything was good. He gave us updates and made sure we were okay first too, as well. You know, he wanted to be sure we were getting through school, getting through practice, getting through games, and mentally at home okay. You know, he was texting us on our sports app, making sure we were good, and you know, all I gotta say is I love him for that. You know, it's kind of one of the first coaches I've had to do that for, not just me, but as a team.
I think people forget that it isn't just on the field. Yeah. Like, the relationship with your coach takes place 24/7 basically, and that when you guys go home, you have to deal with whatever it is, whether it's school, whether it's a bad practice or a good practice, or an injury, or something as bad as what happened to JT.
Yeah.
It doesn't just end when you walk off the football field. You got to think about it when you go home. I think that's what shows me how well you guys are handling it, because it seems like everybody's going, okay, we're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Is that the feeling? Everybody's going to be okay?
Yeah, I think that's most definitely the feeling. We all, you know, kind of in the football group chat that we have, we all check up on each other. We're all going to see him after the football game Saturday morning. I know a lot of guys went today.
Cool.
But we're constantly checking on each other, making sure we're doing well. Because, I mean, all of us, we're close with JT. Even if we didn't hang out with him every day, we all talked to him and had some type of relationship with him.
Do you feel like just those conversations and guys going down, and it seems like we've gone from praying for, it seems like we're praying now for thanks, because there is progress, and that's a beautiful thing. Does that put more wind in your sails, not just as a football team, but in life? You know, when you're walking the halls knowing that it seems like JT's on a really good path?
Absolutely, and I think especially that Saturday when he sat up in PT and he was doing well, and he's starting to mouth words, he's starting to gesture, and he's starting to gain feeling. And, you know, he's got feeling on his butt the other day, so that's really good. But it definitely is easy. You know, I think all of us are firm believers in Christ, so I think knowing that he is in God's hands, I think it also takes that pressure off, and especially the prayer vigils, that knowing that we all come together and God has to answer us.
That's a wonderful answer. I want to talk a little bit about you, because you're a different guy this year, and I could see it in the way you run. You kind of amplify speed fullback now. Is that a fair assessment of you on offense?
My guys kind of give me crap about the speed. They say I'm slow. But I told them against Highland on that touchdown, I said, how's that for speed? You know, I try to run as fast as I possibly could, but I kind of realized against Bowling Green, that second play when I got out in open field and outrun him, I knew I kind of had to adjust my weight and size, and I knew I could use kind of my thickness to my ability and bounce off guys and stay going. So that's kind of what it was.
Do you like to hit guys?
Depends. if I got a headache or not.
I know you like to hit the baseball.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So are you more of a baseball player or a football player?
Definitely baseball. It's kind of been my go-to my whole life.
And I know you and I talked about when we were off camera, but during break, that you want to play baseball in college.
Yeah.
You're looking for that opportunity.
Absolutely.
What is it about baseball that you love?
I honestly just think since I was young, I picked up a bat, and really my mom kind of really worked on me with it because it was something that I just enjoyed, and I'm grateful for baseball because I think not just with baseball, but it's helped me with basketball and football, really with just the athletic ability. But I don't know, I always found a home with it. It was always comfortable. It was somewhere where if I had it, I could get away from, things like that happened to JT or things that I got going on at home. It just felt like an easy escape route.
This is a critical and important week for you guys with some wind in your sails. How do you approach this week?
North Galloway is a very tough team, and we had a close game with them last year. But I think with the guys we got and who we're doing it for, I can see us coming out on top. It's definitely going to be a battle. We're going to have to earn everything we get. No, they're not going to hand it to us. And
No.
I guarantee you come next week, Monroe's not going to hand it to us. So we know with this big test, I think with Wyatt coming back, with the guys we got, what the coaches are game planning for, especially Coach Huff, I think we'll be fine, and I think it's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, I was going to say, just how much fun is it to play for Dalton Hoffman? And I watch the energy he brings to everything he does, and he seems like the kind of guy that every one of us who ever played football would want to play for as a defensive coordinator.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people kind of flame those younger coaching staffs, but they're definitely ones that bring the energy. I mean, every time you make a big play, I come back to the sideline, he's slapping my helmet, screaming at me, and I'm like, I'm not even that hype, man. You got to calm down a little bit. But he's definitely, and that's what I enjoy about him. And Coach Williamson's the same way. They're just those guys that are constantly bringing the energy. If the players aren't bringing it, like they're coming in the locker room, getting us up, getting us hyped, getting us ready to go, and that's what I like about them.
We all know what Monroe Week means.
Absolutely.
The Mayor's Cup and all that goes into it. What's it like for you guys to know that you have? Is it good to have a game like North Callaway the week before Monroe, so that you can't look too far ahead?
Yeah.
You got to concentrate on this week and not get caught up looking at Monroe.
I think it is good because if we do focus so much on Monroe, it can definitely be a huge awakening for us to be like, hey, we just got handed it. We got to hand this to us. So, now we got to really be disciplined for Monroe. So, I like it. Before we had Brookfield, but North Callaway's a lot better team than Brookfield. They're state ranked. They're really well. They're well coached. They got young guys. They got people that have been playing starting for a year or two, and so I think having them before Monroe, like I said, it can be a huge wake-up call, or it can show us where we stand as a team.
You guys pay attention to Monroe just a little bit, don't you? Just on the periphery?
Oh, yeah. Me and Jared heard out before Hallsville. We were talking about we could go 9-1, and if that one loss is to Monroe, we're unsatisfied with our season.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about Monroe and us is it's always a good game, even if one's struggling. So, and it always comes down to we're very loved. I mean, both communities support each other. I saw the other day they posted something about JT, and I was super thankful. Considering a little bit, there's a little bit of beef. But I will say, I love games like that, even in basketball, baseball. I absolutely love having that rivalry.
Did you go to Palmyra games growing up?
Absolutely.
So the old middle school field and everything. Now, and I get it. The field you guys have, the facility you have is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I'm still a little upset that I never got to sit on one of the back of the farm trucks on the opposite side of the field at the middle school field. I loved the middle school field. But when you drive down Highway 61 and you see that field and you see the scoreboard and everything, does it give you goosebumps?
Especially when I'm going down the pole after every game, every home game, and I see the lights still on and the scoreboard still on. I'm just like, man, I'm so glad that I get that little reminder that I just played a football game and we won. Yeah. But like you said, I really did enjoy the middle school field, having the tailgating and stuff like that. And there's always a lot of room to do things at the middle school field, but I do like the turf. And I feel like the bigger bleachers brings more people out, and I feel like more people are attracted to the turf, especially when they're going on Highway 61 and people are driving by and they get a little show for that 2 seconds that they're driving by. But no, I really do enjoy this new field more, especially since we don't have to take a bus for a home game.
Nice.
So.
True. I will say I do enjoy going down the highway and see, especially late at night, and the time is kept up on the scoreboard and on the video board. And so it's like, oh, cool.
Know what time it is now.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come in. I know you guys had a big game last week at Highland. Is it easier this week to get, now that you've got that emotional game out of the way, that first one after JT's injury, that first one after all that, is it a little easier to focus on football now?
I think it will be easier. It's still going to be tough because there's still going to be that void. But I think now that we kind of have a week of practice in, a team meal in, and a game in without him, I think it will make it easier. And we know that he's watching. He watched the Blitz episode. He watched the game live. So.
Well, hopefully he's watching tonight. I don't know if he is or not,
I'll make sure
but it'll be on YouTube, so he'll get to see it, and we'll have it on our site afterward. So we know he'll get to see it. Whoever's there with him can show it to him. But JT, we're all thinking about you. This guy over here's got your back.
I definitely do, dude. I definitely do.
Rayson, thank you for taking the time to come in. Really appreciate you coming all the way to the studio and doing that for us.
And you're a class act young man, and I can't wait to see you in baseball coming up this spring because you can see it coming.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
That was Palmyra's senior fullback linebacker Rayson Miller joining us here in the CDS Office Technology studio. Great interview. Great kid. Really excited for his future. I hope he finds a good home for baseball.
Oh, I'm sure he will. It's again, you can see that talent brewing. He's got big business though ahead. That trip to Kingdom City coming up is going to be really interesting this week.
We'll talk more about the Week 5 schedule later in the show. But right now, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we got another guest waiting outside to join us here in studio. So stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
We asked you what your favorite thing is about fall, and here's what you said. So no matter what you're looking forward to, there's something for you that's on sale at your local Farm and Home Supply right now. Take your pick from our beautiful 8-inch flowering mums for only $5.99. Your fall fashion is on sale, including $10 off Wrangler Bespoke Denim. Pick up a big bag of this winterizer lawn food for under $30. Get a 2-pack of these Cell trail cameras for under $80. Find all these deals and more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
Powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman. And Chris Stewart's actually here to start a segment again.
You're welcome.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
You're welcome. By the way, does it feel like linebacker central in here tonight?
It's awesome,
It's
isn't it?
our kind of people.
Exactly. Guys that like to hit.
Yes.
So, and the next guy loves to hit. And I've seen him wallop some guys.
He was doing that for a long, long time in his high school guys, and it's no surprise what he's doing now.
No question. He'll do it at the college level.
Yeah.
And we got a year till that happens.
Well, we do, yes.
And we still got to see if he can get us a Shuck 'em Up highlight.
I'm sure that's coming.
It's got it.
Yeah, well, and what better time than this week?
Ooh, that would be good. Let's talk about this week with our in-studio guest here in the CDS Office Technology Studio, Quincy High School senior linebacker Ben Shelp. Ben, thanks, buddy, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Is there a big game Friday night?
Yeah, pretty big.
Yeah, pretty big. We'll get to the Moline game here in a minute, but I want to start with last Friday night. You guys go to Rock Island, take care of business, and in the process at the Western Big Six Conference all-time consecutive win streak. 17 straight conference games now. What does that mean to you guys, especially your senior class who has been a part of it all?
It's great. I mean, everything that the seniors have built from the last 3 years really up to this point, it's great to be a part of it because that's something that I've been a part of since the beginning of my high school journey and so many other people, so it's great to continue that.
And we kind of knew watching film and looking at scores that if you guys played to your capabilities, you were going to beat Rock Island. But you had to focus in. But you couldn't let the win streak or Rocky's 0-3 start to the season influence that in any way. Could you last week?
No, we had to take it like it was any other team. Everybody kind of knew we were going to win, but we had to take it like it was the biggest game of the year because it really was until this point right now, because that win streak means so much. That hasn't been even touched since the 1980s and I think maybe 90s, but it was a really big deal to us.
Ben, you guys have pulled it together nicely after that opening night. Did that mature you guys as a group? Because I think we've seen, like this past week, we've seen much better focus from the Quincy High Blue Devils.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Losses are never good, but I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. I think it was a big learning experience for everybody, especially because most of our team is newer. So coming up from JV is always a big difference in like how fast guys are and how just more fast-paced the game is compared to everything else.
Well, and you had a bunch of new guys, and not just guys that came up from JV. You know, obviously Hunter Shuckman had transferred in at quarterback, but you had guys that, even though they were part of the program, maybe didn't have a lot of snaps. And obviously when you look at the numbers offensively, didn't have a lot coming back. But you knew guys could get the job done. You knew guys could play. So when you walked out of there that Friday night, did you go, hey, we're going to be okay?
Yeah, I think all of us did. I mean, our coaches weren't as mad as I thought they would be. Don't get me wrong. They were still pretty mad about us losing. But I think everybody saw a lot, like light at the end of the tunnel, if that makes sense, because I walked out of there more confident than I was before the game. And I was confident before the game that we were going to get it done, which we didn't. But I was more confident after it that the season would be great.
It probably would have been different had you gotten blown out or had you made so many mistakes that you couldn't recover from them. It was right there. You know, one or two changes in one play here, one play there, and you win that game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we beat them statistically, but we didn't beat them on the scoreboard. So that's kind of when I heard that, I was like, wow, we're a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Because Boonville is pretty decent.
There's a new man at the head of the defense. What's changed? What's changed for you with a new coordinator in Mason Swisher and all you guys are trying to do this year? And are you starting to find that connection with what the game plan is defensively now?
Well, not much has changed defensively except for our scheme. Everybody still has the same mentality of just go pursue the ball, which I think that's our best defensive strength. There's always 11 hats to the ball every time. Nobody slows down. And Swisher has done a really good job of preparing us for games. He's super intense, which I like a lot because I think I'm a little intense myself. So
not surprising.
He kind of matches it, but I think it's great.
But not only have you guys been good defensively, you've been good on special teams.
Yeah.
Mr. Scoop and score on a block punt, or was it block punt or block field goal?
Field goal.
Field goal, right, yeah. So those are tide-turning moments, aren't they, when you make a big play on special teams?
Yeah, but also the little things are too. Like the first week against Boonville, they won by 8 points and they scored on special teams. And I think our coaches and everybody on the team put a lot of emphasis into special teams throughout the week in practice just to make sure nothing like that happened again.
Ben, you have the best vantage point of anybody. Who on that defense are we not talking enough about at this point in terms of what the Blue Devils have kind of put together since week number 1?
Ethan Paul. He's a sophomore safety.
I like that.
I think he has stepped up in a really big way. He has a pick this season, and he started week 2 for us and did a phenomenal job. He's very technically sound, and I think you guys will be hearing a lot more about him in the years to come.
Well, I think because of your experience at linebacker, the guys around you, and then the guys up front, because there's some known names up front.
Yeah.
People forget about the secondary. I don't think the secondary should be overlooked, or there's no reason to overlook them, is there?
No, we have a great secondary. Avion and Clavel do a great job at DB, and like I said, Braden Orick and Ethan Paul do just as good at safety and strong safety. So I'm very confident in them. I know every time the ball's in the air, there's going to be somebody around it.
So what strikes you about Moline? How much film have you seen at this point, Ben? And kind of what strikes you about the challenge ahead this week? Because we've talked about it already, and we've been kind of looking forward to this.
And I've watched some film on
it. Yeah, this guy's been like tearing through the film. But, what kind of stands out to you?
They pass more, which I didn't expect at all. When I was looking at Huddle, it shows you like the pass percentage and the run percentage. Last year, I think that run was somewhere around 92 and the pass was around 8%. But this year, going in, it's kind of fluctuating between 72 and like 78% run, which is a lot more passing that they do, because last year they only scored on passes last year. I mean, we shut their run game down. So I think maybe that has something to do with it.
I also think they're going to want to run the ball on you guys.
Yeah.
They're going to want to control clock. They want to line up and take it at you. When you know a team wants to do that, yes, you have to prepare for the pass and be prepared for all that. But when you know a team wants to run the ball, as a linebacker, as a middle linebacker, you start to salivate and be like, bring it on.
It just makes me happy because, like, I love to hit anybody, whether that's pulling guards or the running back, the quarterback, anybody who's in the way, I'm going to hit, and so is everybody else on our defense. We have, I think, the most physical defense in the area. I mean, this year, it's great because there's not a lot of assisted tackles. Everybody's going down on the first point of contact, which last year we had a great defense too, but there were still like assisted tackles and things of that nature. But this year, once guys wrapped up, he's going to the ground, and I'm confident in it.
You're dropping the hammer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, you only get a finite number of games like this in your high school career, and you're one of the very blessed and very lucky and very hardworking ones who have created a future for yourself. But in your high school career, game like this that everybody in the conference and a lot of people in the state are watching, what's it mean for you to have this game coming up at Flynn Memorial Stadium on Friday night, where you guys are the talk of the town, for lack of a better word?
It's super exciting. I love to know that everybody at my school and in the Quincy area is coming to support, because nobody around here likes Moline, and I don't either, because just everything about it I don't like. But that just makes me want to win more, and it just makes me excited.
And it's interesting now. The rivalry with Moline, I think it's always been there. But like back when I was in high school, we hated Rock Island.
Yeah.
More than anyone else. And I think that a lot stemmed from basketball and Duncan Reed being the legendary coach at Rock Island, and some of the antics he had made us all hate Rock Island to an nth degree. But that Moline rivalry is pretty good, and it's gotten better over the years.
Yeah, I love it. Like, the guys on the team over at Moline, they're super nice guys, but I just, I hate the team as a whole. It's just every single time. Like, you go down there, there's some questionable calls being made and everything like that. And it just makes me happy whenever we can beat them and play them.
Okay, Friday's a Western Big Six Conference game. You got to go to school during the day. Can you concentrate on classes? Because I know academics are very important.
Yes, they are.
So, can you concentrate on classes on a football Friday, especially a football Friday like this?
No, to be honest, not at all.
I love the honesty.
I'm pretty zoned out in class usually. Like, I like to visualize things in my head before it happens, and that's usually what I'm doing throughout the day. And that is not a great thing, but I like to do it, and it's not something I can really stop.
Yeah.
So
that gap of time between the time you get out of school and you got to be at the stadium, and the wonderful football facility that it is. What do you do? What do you do to make sure you don't lose track of that aggressiveness and also don't get caught up thinking too much?
Well, usually I start hydrating the day before, or many days before. Like, I got to stay hydrated now too, obviously, but that's kind of the first step of everything. And then once I get out of school, I have a pretty short schedule this year, so I get home a lot earlier than I usually would. But it depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll take a nap just to kind of take my mind off of things. But then usually I always listen to music the whole day, just because it calms me down, and then I kind of amp it up as we get closer to game time. but I always have to get something to eat too, or multiple things to eat.
Okay.
Recently I've been liking Qdoba a lot and Cane's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's kind of my pregame
ritual. What's your go-to at Qdoba?
Ooh, double steak, white rice, no beans, spicy queso, cilantro, the tortilla chips, and the green salsa. That's kind of.
I do everything that man does except I add pickled onions to what I do.
Wow.
I would go for his order.
Yeah.
Almost perfect.
Yeah. You don't like cilantro.
I don't like cilantro, but the fact you went no beans.
I'm not a bean guy.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
So I like that. What's your musical choice then? As you're getting ramped up, does it increase in different kind of music as the day goes on?
Yeah. So basically, throughout the school day, I kind of listen to like old death rock, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But yeah, and then it's kind of leads into more like locker room hype music and things similar to that, and that just like. That gets me going, you know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Yeah.
Ben, your visualization that you talked about, what do you visualize Friday to make this happen? Is it making Moline one-dimensional right from the start? Is that kind of how your mind is going to picture how Friday needs to go when you start thinking about it? I was going to say in the middle of the afternoon, but who are we kidding here? It's 6 a.m. when you wake up and you start thinking about Moline Day.
6 a.m. Friday. He might start visualizing it tomorrow.
That's probably a fair point.
Yeah.
But what do you see?
I see our offense scoring points. I see the first thing I think about, though, is us winning. I think about everybody after the game. That's the first thing, and that's the most important thing because that's what matters that day the most. And then I think about every time we hit them on defense, they just want to quit. They don't want to play football anymore. That's my favorite thing to do is make the other team not want to play football anymore, and I think we've done that the past few weeks.
That's a quality answer right there.
That's a fantastic answer. Well, Friday night's going to be a lot of fun. I will have my spot in the end zone like usual, and I'm really looking forward to it, especially since Coach Wassman will be next to me. Hopefully Coach Quintero will be there too.
Usually is.
The crew.
Yeah.
You know, and it's should be a whale of a game.
It should be really fun. I love playing big games like this. It's my favorite.
Well, good. Well, thank you for taking the time to come in and join us.
Great job. Take care of business on Friday. We don't have any doubt you will.
Yeah, exactly. It should be a lot of fun. I will see you Friday night at Flynn Stadium.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Yep, thank you.
That was Ben Shelp, Quincy High School senior linebacker, the hammer in the middle of that defense. Quincy High's had some hammers over the years. He fits that bill.
Oh, he's perfect for that role.
Yeah.
And it's just fun watching how fast he gets. It's like watching a shark sometimes close to a wounded harp seal or something. It's just the distance he closes, and you can see why there's next level for him.
Well, we're going to look forward to that on Friday night, and we got the rest of the schedule to talk about when we come back. You want to do that when we get back?
Sounds like fun.
Schedule?
Yeah, sounds like fun.
So stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
When you trust your healthcare needs to MDH, you'll receive the highest quality, compassionate care from our nationally accredited medical departments and award-winning staff. We are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing exceptional care right here in Macomb. We also accept Aetna, HealthLink, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and most other insurance plans for your convenience. McDonough District Hospital, your regional healthcare partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
We excel physical therapy locations in Quincy and Hannibal.
You know, word of mouth has been really powerful. It always will be.
We built that from relationships.
Not only do we have great clinicians, but we have great people.
This is the best group of therapists I've ever worked with.
That's an advantage.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Lehman's, your neighborhood market.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
I think people here in the Quincy area are wanting something different. You know, people have to wait 2, 3, 4 weeks to get into a provider.
Being independent allows us to do things differently. It's one of the things we've prided ourselves on, is getting people in the door quickly.
That's an advantage. It's made us better.
Not sure you're ready for retirement? With over 25 years of experience, the team at Benson Financial Group will meet you right where you are and craft a plan that's right for you. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
What a fun first 45 minutes this has been, Chris Dewar.
Well, I was only here for 30 of them, so I can only guess.
Slacker.
Yes, I can only guess that the first 15 minutes were fun.
I mean, we've all kind of figured that once you got comfortable, you're going to start going, hey, I'm Chris Dewar, I can do, you know.
Here it comes. I'll tell you what, Mr. Shelp, Mr. Miller, amazing interviews and great young men.
And we will be, obviously, we'll be posting links on social media. And you can always go back and rewatch the show on YouTube, on Muddy River TV, those sorts of things. So we'll have all those links posted. And that's been the kind of the cool thing for us, is to watch how many people go back and watch it.
Right.
Because Monday night's busy. You got JV football games at a lot of places. You obviously got Monday Night Football.
Right.
And, you know, when people, you know, work, you know, and have other things going on. So there are nights, and again, even on Friday nights last year, it wasn't easy for everybody to jump on whenever we were live.
Once you announced the guest list, I got a direct message from a very interested grandmother who couldn't wait to hear our very next interview coming up in a bit. So
okay. At the top of the 8 o'clock hour?
Yes, at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, we've got somebody all set up and ready to watch in every manner possible.
Well, good. I like to hear that.
I was an assist today.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. Well, again, we got the orange t-shirts on.
We do.
The JT's Journey t-shirts. Really appreciate Tony Williams making sure we both got these in time. You know, they had Dewar size. They didn't have Shuck size. So I had to get it ordered and get it here.
I usually try to go with an extra small women's to try to look bigger than I am.
That's because you just want to. You just want the guns to show.
I want the guns to show. These are great T-shirts.
The fact that they turned these around to get us these in time for tonight's show, really appreciate it.
What an awesome community.
Yeah, and JT, we're thinking about you, praying for you. Really, and again, Rayson and I talked about this off camera earlier tonight. He's going to check with JT and see what JT is up for.
Yeah.
And if he's up for a visitor, one of these days I'm going to make a trip to Columbia to visit him. So we've already talked about that. So, but Rayson, again, fantastic interview, and I know Ben Shelp's ready for Friday night.
He was born ready for Friday night from the womb. He's just ready to hit something.
That was those were two great interviews, and again, our interviews coming up in hour number 2. Really excited about as well. We'll have Robert Gail, the Highland product, senior linebacker, safety, headhunter.
General all-around, jack of all physical trades.
At Truman State, and he's had a great senior year to date. You know, a great start to the year. Was able to see some clips, and we'll bring it up when we talk to him.
Yeah.
He laid the wood. He shucked him up.
That's not a surprise. Anybody who knows him, and he was as punishing in high school as a fullback as he was as a linebacker.
Yep.
All of this is right from the DNA. You know, this is what he does.
And then at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, the publisher of Pigs.com, Jeff Rab Johns, is going to join us.
Celebrity guest.
Yes, he covers Indiana University. His website does, similar to what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and I was texting with him over the weekend. He had some interesting things to say after the Indiana butt whooping of Illinois. But he was understandably, he was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I could understand where he was coming from and his fervor and all that, and he was honest in his assessment of it, and and look forward to talking to him. Known him a long time. He's my guy.
Yeah, it's been, got the start right here for you.
He did, the Harold Wig, and then full disclosure, we were the best man in each other's weddings.
Well, there you go.
So
yes,
it's kind of fun to catch up about stuff that we want to talk about.
Right.
But we want to talk about high school football.
We do.
Because we got a loaded Week 5 schedule coming up.
I think it's a really good Week 5 schedule.
I do too.
Kind of top heavy, but in a really good way.
So let's go through it real quick.
Let's do it.
Okay, Week 5, the schedule brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota. Moline at Quincy High School. We've talked a lot with Ben Shelp about that one. Speaks for itself. 2 of the best teams in the Western Big Six going head-to-head. 2 teams that met twice last year, and Quincy High won both.
Yes. It's a big doings night for football in the Gem City, with both of those games for Quincy High and Quincy Notre Dame, both home games, having significant conference implications, and in Quincy Notre Dame's case, bounce-back implications.
No doubt. Springfield comes to Advanced Physical Therapy Field, a Springfield team that's got talent.
Oh, loaded with talent.
Yes.
That's a really tough matchup. Although I think we see, based on what Quincy Notre Dame did last week, a little better focus from the Raiders, and probably, Jack will adjust. And that's they've learned who they are better than they did the first 3 weeks blowing people out.
Hannibal at Mexico, another NCMC game for the Pirates. Poor Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't anticipate much coming out of the way of Mexico Bulldog highlights this week.
Camp Point Central at Unity Payson, the number 1 ranked Panthers. After seeing what Brown County did to Unity Payson last week, and having watched the Panthers myself last week, or sort of watched them, that game got a little boring. I hate to say it. 62-0.
I think that's the way Brad Dixon and company like it.
And that may be the case this week. I don't want to say 62-0, but that may get a little boring in the second half, unless Unity finds a way to really bounce back.
I don't want to divulge any state secrets, but let's keep Casey Monroe out of any area restaurants. Casey might still have any lingering sicknesses. Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying. Moving forward.
Triopia at Brown County. The state-ranked Hornets are rolling.
They are, and Triopia is better, just not better enough, I think, to deal with the size and the physicality of a Brown County team I got to see in person for the first time last week. Those lines are incredible. I mean, just the way they pound against, and Unity Payson's not bad in the front lines. Brown County is just probably better than most.
WIVC South, Calhoun at Winchester West Central.
Wildly interesting game. That's a really great Calhoun team that will play Brown County, week 9, if memory serves me?
I believe that's correct.
At Calhoun. Winchester West Central has some physicality to them. I know they lost last week. They lost, a hard scrabble 15-12 game last week, I think.
To Carrollton.
To Carrollton, who's pretty good and motivated to get back. Winchester West Central has some talent. This will be an interesting matchup. We'll see how good Calhoun really is.
Carrollton at Pleasant Hill. I think we're starting to see the Carrollton team that I think some of us expected. That just, unfortunately, their early schedule started with Brown County.
I think they paid a toll for that, too. I think Rodney Flowers would tell you they paid a toll for that first game, and we're still recovering from it when they lost to Unity Payson.
Macomb on the road, again, another long road trip, this time to Breeze Mater Dei.
You love Breeze Mater Dei and making that trip. I heard you talking about that going in. You look at what Macomb did last week, and we had, just like in week 1, we had another monster Caden Up night pass on the football. The numbers were incredible. Your guy, Drew Watson, had over 180 yards of receiving and a couple of touchdowns. I mean, if they continue on this, Drew Watson might be a dark horse player of the year type guy.
And don't forget about my guy, Drake May.
Drake May. Speaking of linebackers who destroy people, he fits that bill well.
West Hancock and Illini West.
2 schools that absolutely don't like each other very much. I know, they're struggling record-wise right now. Illini West coming off the big loss this week. West Hancock. But that's as good a rivalry as there is, and that should be fun.
Rushville Industry at home against Wethersfield.
God, what a big win for Rushville Industry again last week against South Fulton. Sebastian Bertou, who Brian Lafferty talked about with us last week.
That's right.
7 carries, 147 yards, and a couple of touchdowns.
That's not a bad average.
No, he did fairly well average-wise.
New Berlin at Pittsfield. Just, again, every week in the Sangamo is going to be tough for the Saukeys.
It is, and again, hopefully the Saukeys find some traction this week.
Clark County at Monroe City.
It's a tough spot. Clark County lost their starting quarterback last week. Found a way to win. And beat South Shelby 14-7 on a 4th and 5 pass that made it happen with a backup quarterback throwing it and making it happen. Clark County's got really good wide receivers, so that helps a little bit in that case. But I would anticipate Monroe City is probably a much higher level of competitor than they saw last week or have seen to date.
Correct. Palmyra at North Callaway. We talked about that with Rayson Miller. North Callaway is loaded, and Palmyra is playing good football.
And North Callaway did a number last week on Bowling Green. Not that Bowling Green has had a lot of luck of late, but that was the North Callaway team we've been being sold.
Both teams did a number on Bowling Green, so that'll be interesting. Highland at South Shelby.
Somebody's looking for a win.
Somebody gets a win.
Yeah, somebody's looking for a win this week.
So Bowling Green at Louisiana.
Great rivalry game. Bowling Green needs some traction. Louisiana has been very thorny in their losses, so we'll see what happens there.
Wright City at Mark Twain. Wright City, we saw what they've been able to do. And
it's tough draw at home for Mark Twain.
Game you've been looking forward to, North Shelby at Paris.
4-0 and 4-0, and I believe it is the Missouri 8-man football game of the week this week.
Oh, okay.
So, those two teams are undefeated at this point. I have no idea what's going to shake loose out of that, but one of those teams is probably going to take a big jump, and if things continue to persist the way they are, we might have another battle of 8-man team 2 weeks later, because Knox County has been one of the great surprises of area football this season, and they've got a chance to be 6-0, staring down North Shelby if North Shelby gets the win at Paris this week.
Knox County, speaking of Knox County at Kansas City East Christian, which is on the wrong side of the state line in Kansas City.
As well, you should point that out. Thank you very much, good sir. I got to watch some of those Knox
County. I won't say what is on the other side of that state line other than misery.
Yes, well, and correctly stated.
Yes.
I got to see some of those Knox County highlights this week. Our friends over in St. Joe had those highlights on their television. And man, Cooper Clare was carving people up, and he was getting a lot of help, and he's throwing the ball at a different level than he was last year. It's not just what he's doing with his feet. So, again, Knox County is playing really good football.
Fort Madison at Keokuk.
My man Derek Doherty's Bloodhounds have struggled the last 2 years. One of the great coaches in the area. They just have kind of hit a down spurt, and I think I was surprised last week that Burlington didn't get a better fight defensively from Keokuk. Keokuk's offense is a ton, so this could be a game that gets ugly. I hope for Derek Doherty's sake it doesn't. For Marvin McNutt's sake, I hope it does. But I think we'll have a chance to see some really good offensive weapons on display in that game.
It should be fun. Week 5 is going to be a lot of fun. We'll have people out and about all over the area. Again, make sure you check out all the highlights. Saturday morning, Muddy River Blitz, electrified by Excel Physical Therapy. This guy will take care of getting it all packaged together. And we'll have it all up by 7:38 a.m. Saturday morning.
I got up at 6 on Saturday and was down sitting around waiting for volleyball to start in St. Charles for the Hannibal Lady Pirates, and looked at our website and went, man, we did a lot of work on Friday night.
Last week was a great week, so let's continue that.
Amen, brother.
All right, we need to take a break. Hour number 1 is over. Hour number 2 ready to begin. And Robert Gail is going to be joining us to talk Truman State football.
One of our all-time favorite Highland Cougars.
That's right.
On tap next.
So we'll talk to him next. Stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
We asked you what your favorite thing is about fall, and here's what you said. So no matter what you're looking forward to, there's something for you that's on sale at your local Farm and Home Supply right now. Take your pick from our beautiful 8-inch flowering mums for only $5.99. Your fall fashion is on sale, including $10 off Wrangler Bespoke Denim. Pick up a big bag of this winterizer lawn food for under $30. Get a 2-pack of these Cell trail cameras for under $80. Find all these deals and more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough Districts Hospital.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Chris Stewart, we put our earbuds in, we got all excited. We're ready to talk to Robert Gail, the Truman State hitting machine, and technical difficulties bit us.
We're going to get it solved, though,
well,
the time being.
And we built in a little bit of space here.
Yes, we did.
During this half hour in case something like this happens, so we got time.
We're Boy Scouts. We're always prepared.
That's right. So our producers are working on getting the technological issues fixed. Hopefully Robert Gail. And Robert, being very patient, understood there was something happening that wasn't working correctly. He's going to stick around. He's going to make sure he's available when we get this done and get it back to him.
A former, a tremendous student athlete who adapts to whatever is thrown his direction.
Well, what do you expect from a good son of a good vet like Danny Gale?
Amen.
So,
amen.
All those Highland guys from back in those late 80s, early 90s days, which I know quite a few of them.
Oh, yes, you do.
But we look forward to talking to Robert. Give us a few minutes to get that worked out. But again, we're going to talk Truman State football with him. But a good opening week of the GLVC for Quincy University and Truman State.
I would agree, and got a chance to go down to the city of Jefferson and Reed Stadium, which is still like it was in 1993 the last time. I think I was there, much to the chagrin of Jason Kilday, who tried to get a video replay at one point and found out they were still using Betamaxes or something in the building, and he was none too happy with that.
Were the clocks correct there?
All I know is that I was privy to a moment where Jason Kilday was very punctual and nobody else was.
Football coaches tend to be punctual.
He wanted a game at 6:30 kickoff, and at 6:31 the game had not kicked off. He was not happy.
I don't think he'll have that worry this week at Wayne State.
No, he should not. I think we'll have a much higher degree of punctuality and game detail.
And if my understanding is correct, kickoff is scheduled for 1:07 p.m. and we'll
on the dot.
We'll start at 1:07.
As it should, precisely.
But a good effort by the Hawks. And against a much improved Lincoln team.
I thought it was a phenomenal start, sort of a shock and awe start, especially for the defense. I thought we saw, maybe we're good luck, Matt Shuckman, because Brock Wiley had his best game of the season.
He did.
With 11 tackles to lead the way. I think he was miscredited at least one tackle for loss that he deserved when I went back and looked at everything that I saw on my tape.
Yep.
There was a ton of really good hitting in that game by the Hawks. They were up 14-0, driving to make it 21-0 at that point. Had a controversial call, the one we talked about that Jason Kilday was looking for a review on.
Correct.
And suddenly there was momentum in Lincoln's sails, and Lincoln scored twice and looked like they were going to take a touchdown lead with 3 unanswered touchdowns. The defense stepped up again. Again, it was Brock Wiley with a takedown in the backfield that set up an interception on 3rd and long. And, Braden Little marches the team down the field, aided by, you saw the highlight, an absolute body slam on Cameron Cox at the back end of
crazy.
30 yards of penalty yardage, and suddenly the Hawks have momentum again. So I thought it was a really good adjustment to the tempo of a game that tried to get away from them, and they wrested momentum back.
I totally agree with that. I also like the fact that Jason Kilday put his kicker right back out there. Kiko Moreno had missed the field goal at the end of the game against Roosevelt. Put him out there at the end of the first half, chance to give the Hawks the lead. And Kiko basically looked at him and said, "Coach, I got it." Yeah, and went out and kicked it. 43-yarder.
Yeah, and it was, it was probably 44 yards worth of field goal, but it got there because I was standing right under it when it came down.
I know.
So good win for them. I think, obviously, what are we? A couple of weeks away from Truman State, which should be
October 18th is when the Hawks go over to Truman State.
Little under a month.
Not that I have looked ahead of the schedule at all.
You've been talking about this all season long, so should be. Yeah, I mean, like I said, should be really interesting on that front.
Well, and you look at what Truman State did last week against Missouri S&T on the road in Rolla. Dylan Hare throws for 4 touchdowns. They run the ball efficiently. I mean, Hare himself, averaged 12.8 yards per carry. Denham Cook, 93 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Truman State, which had a tough opening schedule, non-conference schedule, goes on the road, beats an S&T team, and it is kind of living up to that billing of being the team maybe right under UIndy in this league. Yeah. And where does QU fit in that? We thought, maybe they were picked 4th. Could they maybe get up to 3rd? We'll see. We'll see what happens, what transpires down the road. But I think both these teams have a chance to do something special.
I was preoccupied with other things. Was Dylan Hare the GLVC Player of the Week offensively?
That's a good question. I do not remember who was.
So,
let me find it real
obviously
quick.
A quarterback that a lot of people around here are familiar with his battles with Bowling Green over the years. And
yes, Dylan Hare was the Offensive Player of the Week. UIndy's Danny Royster, the defensive end, had 5 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's a pretty good day.
But UIndy's pretty good,
right?
And then the guy we mentioned earlier, Kiko Moreno, was the GLVC Special Teams Player of the Week.
And deservedly so.
Yep.
I mean, and again, it was a great kick under pressure and under duress.
Yep. So let's take a break. Let's see if we can get our technological issues worked out and get Robert Gail on the horn, because I'm really looking forward to talking to him.
He's a great young man. Can't wait to do that.
So we're going to take a break. Stick around. We'll be right back. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Meet us at the scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
I think people here in the Quincy area are wanting something different. People have to wait 2, 3, 4 weeks to get into a provider.
Being independent allows us to do things differently. It's one of the things we've prided ourselves on, is getting people in the door quickly.
We can really help those student athletes.
That might be the difference between getting in a game versus not getting in a game.
And not just if there's been an injury. We can help them get stronger.
Having the relationship with Excel Performance Health and Wellness is a game changer.
I don't really think there's anything like it in the area.
That's an advantage. It's made us better.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Chris Stewart, the gremlins have been fixed. We can go to the Hess Auto Agency hotline and welcome our next guest.
I'm excited about this.
I am too. Joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline, Truman State linebacker, safety, senior, headhunter, all-around good guy, Robert Gail. Robert, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Again, coming off a GLVC opening victory at Missouri S&T down in Rolla, what do you like about where your Truman State football team is right now?
I think that it's just we're just now gaining our traction. We started off the year 0-2, but we felt like we had played well enough to win those first two games. Then we kind of put it all together last week in the overtime win against Davenport, and then this week in our win against S&T. But there's no silver linings. You got to do whatever it takes to be 1-0, and we're just kind of starting to get our traction and find a way to do that.
You're playing awfully well, Robert, and from a standpoint of who you guys are as a defense, what do you like about this group that kind of surrounds you this year?
Yeah, I think that we've got a veteran defensive line that kind of sets the tone up front, and it just makes it really easy to play behind. My roommate, Jack Weltha, is a linebacker, and he's been playing really well this year, and it's when those guys in front of you are making really good decisions and really fast decisions, it just makes it really easy to play behind. And I don't think anyone's going to out hustle us. I think we kind of just swarm our tails off every single play, no matter what. So
three of the first four games on the road here for you guys, Robert. How nice is it to have a home game this week and know you can just you can settle in Kirksville and be ready for Saturday?
Yeah, it is nice. I always talk with my parents whenever we're driving home from Indianapolis or places like that. When we used to play Centralia in high school, we used to think that was a road trip. And now we're going to Findlay, Ohio, and Saginaw Valley, Michigan, and just stuff like that. But it is nice to have a home game in college for sure, and hopefully we can have some pretty decent crowds, especially this Saturday with the big one coming up.
Well, and it gives mom and dad a chance to come over where they don't have to drive over God's green earth to come see you, right?
Yeah, I think they like to get here a little bit early and tailgate and do some of that stuff, so that makes it a lot easier when it's just an hour and a half away from home.
It is a big one at Stoke Stadium this week, and obviously this is the chance that you get to prove that those first two games really didn't matter. What do you see on tape? What do you got to do against UND to get the job done?
Well, UND, every year in the conference, they've won it the past few years, and they're explosive on offense, and they got a really good quarterback, and they're always looking to be efficient on the ground too. And every year it seems like they bring some running back in who's really efficient too. So I think just kind of Coach K always says, you're not going to beat UND on Saturday without first beating them Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at practice. So I think we just got to keep stacking those todays and getting better each day at practice, and then Saturday just go out and have fun.
What did the beating Davenport in overtime do for you guys, especially coming off the two losses? How much of a boost was that victory over Davenport?
That was big. It felt good just to win one out of conference. I felt like those first 2 weeks our defense played really well, or fairly well at least. And that week 3 game, we kind of slipped a little bit, but then we kind of found our groove. And that one was a hot one too. It was pretty warm. but it just kind of shows the toughness of our team, and we were able to kind of find a way to get it done.
Go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, we're talking with Robert Gail here on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. Highland graduate, football player at Truman State. Robert, I was chatting with your dad, and he said Truman, quote, Truman has been a great experience for you. Would you agree?
For sure. I would agree 100%. Yeah, I think this is where I was meant to go play college football for sure. It's a really good fit, and Coach Nesbitt recruited me, and Coach K has been my position coach since I've been here, and now he's the head coach, and that was a super smooth transition. And like, we played Davenport last week, and I mean, that team's a lot of transfers, and we don't bring in a ton of transfers, and we've got a lot of Missouri guys, and I think that's part of what kind of holds you accountable and makes you play a little bit harder.
You got a lot of smart guys, too, like yourself, Robert, because it is an institution of academic higher learning. Mm-hmm. Truman State has always prided itself on that, and I think that's part of the reason you wanted to go there. Just to be around that level of seriousness, and I think you have a lot of that on your football team, and when you're in the classroom, obviously, with those guys, what does that mean to the success that you've had, that people take this so seriously and cerebrally, gosh, I can't talk tonight, Shuck, cerebrally when you're attacking the task at hand, like a UIndy this week?
Yeah, I think that we definitely play to our advantage here at Truman. I think that the scheme maybe isn't super complex, but every single guy is going to know exactly what his job is and do it well. And I think that's been just a great experience coming from kind of a smaller school to Truman State. I think that's just it's been a good step in growing my football knowledge. I've learned a lot here at Truman, and it's just been a really good learning experience and all that.
Okay, Robert, you've had two head coaches at your time at Truman. One the father, mm-hmm. one the father, one the son. Is there any moments when Kellen Nesbitt does something or says something and you go, oh my, that sounds just like Coach Nez?
Yeah, there's a few times for sure. Yeah, you can tell there's a few things he gets from him for sure. Yeah.
What is the biggest similarity between the two?
I'd say the biggest similarity is probably just how nothing slips through the cracks. Every base is covered. I mean, if you're the backup on kickoff return, you better know what your job is. And I think that both of those guys have that super in common. And I think both of them would, if they went and got into a bar fight, you'd have to drag them out because they'll do anything it takes to win, for sure.
You've had an awfully storied football career. Obviously, you guys put Highland on the map while you were there, and that was super fun to watch. And now you're kind of getting to the end of this. What's the journey for you post-football, Robert? Have you kind of given that some thought moving forward now?
Yeah, so I got accepted into Logan University at chiropractic. So after I graduate from Truman, I'm going to head to chiropractor school and hopefully return back to Northeast Missouri. That's kind of always been my end goal. As you guys know, the Tri-States is a pretty special place, and that's just kind of where I always kind of saw myself ending up.
Okay.
I got engaged this summer.
Hey, congratulations.
Congrats, that's awesome.
And so my fiance, Michaela, is going to go with me, and then hopefully we can come back to Lewis County.
Once you get all that done and you start your own chiropractic practice back here in Northeast Missouri, how much would you like to get Chris Dewar on your table and crack his back once or twice?
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, I'm sure. I'm sure for holding that camera all these years, I'm sure there's a little bit of curvature there.
Yeah, there would be noises you've probably never heard before and they can't prepare you for, Robert.
Robert, we talked about your Highland days and staying in Northeast Missouri by going over to Kirksville. What has that meant to you to know you have that hometown support and that home community support coming from Lewis County?
Yeah, it's fantastic, really. One of the reasons I picked Truman is because it's an hour and 20 minutes from home, and I've had a lot of different people, come and see me play a game at Truman, and that I couldn't do it without the support system I have with my family, just different friends coming up, catching games, and it just means a lot from all those guys.
Well, you got a big one coming up here in a few weeks. I know you got UIndy this week, and I know how important that game is, but you got QU coming over there on October 18th. I think there could be a lot of people from Northeast Missouri and West Central Illinois at Stokes Stadium that week. Could be a lot of fun, couldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. That could be a lot of fun. I've got a lot of respect for Coach Kilday, and I was sad to see him go, and I'm sure it kind of sucks that we got to play him every year, you know. But I do think there's going to be a lot of Northeast Missouri, West Central Illinois people at the game, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Do you think maybe there's a visit to the truck in order down the road, Matt Shuckman?
Well, I threw it at him, right, Robert? Maybe we do a Shuck on a truck one of these days?
For sure, yeah. I never got to do one in high school, so
there we go. We'll see what we can make happen. We got several weeks left of the college football season to find the right time to do that, right?
For sure, yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Really appreciate it. Great conversation, and really looking to see how the rest of your senior year goes.
Oh, thank you guys for having me, and thanks for everything you guys are doing.
Awesome. We will catch up soon. All right, bud?
Appreciate you.
For sure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, bud. That was Robert Gail, Truman State senior linebacker, Highland graduate, dad, a vet over in Northeast Missouri. Danny Gail was a heck of a football player back in his high school days.
So I've been told.
Yes. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree there.
Great family, and obviously great young man, raised right, and as tough as they come on a football field.
Going to chiropractic school.
Doesn't surprise me. I think he had articulated that when we talked to him in high school, and just a super sharp kid who always had his goals right in front of him.
So really looking forward to see what the rest of his career as this season goes on. He's had a heck of a season so far, averaging 5 tackles a game. He's got a fumble recovery. He's got a sack. He's got tackles for losses. He's had some impact on that Truman State defense.
And he had her say yes to the ring. So he's winning on all fronts.
Good for him.
Well done, Robert Gail.
That was the Hess Auto Agency hotline. We were talking to Robert Gail. We appreciate their support. And we will have another guest on the Hess Auto Agency hotline to talk more college football. Here in a few minutes, Jeff Rab Johns, the publisher of Peegs.com. We'll talk about the Indiana-Illinois game. Who knows? Maybe he'll have some insight on Notre Dame since he's living in Indiana.
Yes.
Aeneas Williams, the Hannibal standout. So who knows? Who knows where that conversation is going to go? Again, it's Rabby.
Indeed.
It could go a variety of ways. So stick around. Jeff Rab Johns will be joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline when we come back. We're going to take a break. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
Small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Ready to retire on your terms? At Benson Financial Group, it's about more than money. It's about purpose. With over 25 years of experience, our team works together to craft a plan that fits your goals and values in Quincy and Hannibal.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, kicking it alongside Sports Director Chris Dewar. It's been a fun night.
Our first non-linebacker on the line.
Yeah, I don't know. He's beefed up over the years. He could maybe play linebacker.
Rabbi was always cagey and had that agility.
He was wiry.
Yes.
Back in the day. We're going to go to the Hess Auto Agency hotline and be joined by Pigs.com publisher, the guy who knows everything about Indiana University sports, Jeff Rab Johns. Rabbi, how are you?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm dandy. Good to have you joining us on the show.
Great to talk to you, man. Great to talk to you. It's been a fun football season over here in Indiana to start, no doubt.
I can imagine. It's been fun over here on the Mississippi River. Not only have we locally had good football with Quincy University and our high school teams, Mizzou's been fun to watch. And I think the Mizzou fans enjoyed watching the Indiana Hoosiers do what they did Saturday night.
Sure. I can definitely see that, obviously, with the rivalry over there on the river.
Yeah. Again, the Hoosiers put a butt whooping on Illinois Saturday night. I know you and I texted a little bit after that game. There was a lot of fervor and excitement around the Hoosiers after that win, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was pretty incredible, and it was such an unbelievable environment. And part of the reason is that was a game that was anticipated all summer. And I, I've been over here now 25 years, so I've been around this stuff for 2.5 decades. And you just normally do not get IU football excitement during the summer. Maybe you get a little, let's see, okay, new coach. Well, gosh, we've been told about new coaches before. You just don't get a lot of excitement. Now, Cignetti came in and made some headlines. He talked a little trash and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then he even, later, he said, look, he's like, I got hired. Even some of the people around here were kind of like, well, gosh, good luck, but it's a tough thing. But, everybody down in the mouth. And he was like, I felt like I had to do something to kind of stir stuff up. And he's like, so I did it. And he's like, I did it on purpose. So there was a little bit of headline making last year, but this year there was anticipation. And that was just, Saturday was incredible. I mean, the 63 points are the most points scored ever by a Big Ten team against an AP top 10 team, and the most points scored ever against an AP top 10 team by any team outside the top 10 in the history of the AP poll, which is almost 100 years old now. You got quarterback Fernando Mendoza is now the betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy at some sports books. Indiana's sitting there right now. They lead the country in red zone touchdowns, first downs per game, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, rushes of 20 yards or more, tackles for loss, and fewest first downs allowed per game. Those are the categories they lead the country in. They're top 5 in the country in yards per game, lowest opponent third down conversion rate, points per game, third down conversion rate on your own, plays of scrimmage for 10, that have gone for 10 yards or more, rushes of 10 yards or more, and scoring defense. In all those categories, the IU's top 5 in the country. I mean, it's been a total change under Kurt Cignetti. They're doing things on offense with Mendoza, with Ryan Hemby at running back, with receivers like Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt. They have 6 different players who have had multiple tackles for loss in the same game already, and it's only been 4 games. The 219 points scored over the first 4 games, the most points in any 4-game stretch in school history. So those are, I don't want to bore everybody to death with stat after stat, but those are some of the top ones to just give you an idea of what is Indiana doing, where are they sort of doing it relative to the national landscape, and what are they doing relative to their own history.
Jeff, what, if any, is the potential Achilles heel here? Because it does look really, based on what you did to Illinois, it does look incredibly promising at this point. But what are the concerns moving forward for the Hoosiers?
I don't know if they have any areas that are true concerns. I think if you said, okay, what area do you think you'd like to see them improve on, where would you start? Probably in the secondary, maybe with the safeties. Obviously, D'Angelo Pons was an All-American last year, so he's a fantastic cover corner. But Illinois did get free on that early drive for a 50-plus yard touchdown throw. They actually had a couple breakdowns in a couple earlier games where throws were either just long or wide, but receivers got open. So if there's one area you say, okay, what do you want them to shore up? I would say probably some of the communication in the secondary. They've certainly got capable people. Obviously, everybody understands Louis Moore's situation. He's having to, he's got lawyers in Texas who are fighting to, they had to fight. They're fighting still a court battle for his eligibility because the NCAA said, no, your years in JUCO count. And he was like, well, wait a minute. Vanderbilt quarterback, his years in JUCO don't count, but mine do against the clock. Why? So I understand that maybe Louis is a little distracted, but he's still playing really well. I mean, he had an interception each of the first two games. But I think the one area where you want to see a little improvement right now, probably the secondary, especially safeties.
Rabbi, a lot of people around here are very familiar with UIndy's football team because it's been the dominant team in the GLVC. There's a Quincy Notre Dame graduate playing at Butler right now, so people around here are kind of familiar with that. How hard is it for those schools to gain any traction in terms of appreciation in Indianapolis when you've got IU playing so well?
I think it's tough for them. UIndy has a little bit of a following on the South Side because, like you said, they've been good for a while.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people on the South Side who either are UIndy grads or they know somebody who went to UIndy. And UIndy's always done a good job recruiting locally. Ron Colley's a big Catholic powerhouse on the South Side. They get kids from the Indy metro area. So, there's some people that pay attention, but it's tough for them. When you have you're always battling the Colts. The Colts are the dominant thing in the fall because it's the NFL, because of Peyton Manning. The city really changed in 2003 when the Colts went to the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. They actually had games that were going to be blacked out during the regular season. They had to move that blackout date. You have to have a sellout for the game to be on TV locally. But once they went to that AFC Championship game, that January in 2003, city of Indianapolis changed. It became a city that really paid attention to football. And that was, what everybody calls the Peyton Manning effect, which I think is a good way to phrase it. So locally, it's culture one. And then when Indiana does something, it's just a big deal because in Indiana, it's the flagship university. There's more IU alums and IU fans in this state than for any other team, especially if you get south of Indianapolis. I mean, it's just deep IU country when you get south of Indy. And even there's pockets up in Fort Wayne and things like that. And Purdue has a strong following, too, because they've been good for most of the last 20 years, going back to Joe Tiller. But when Indiana does something like this, it grabs a ton of attention around the state. I mean, I think there were probably more people in that press box than I've ever seen before. Especially if you want to count media and NFL scouts. I mean, I've never seen that press box like that. In fact, there were some times years ago when IU was really struggling. I mean, I don't know if there were 20 of us in there who were actually working, and the press box was just full on Saturday for that game.
Modern media is a funny business, Jeff, and you've carved out quite a niche for yourself back from the days at the Quincy Herald-Whig. First of all, do you have any Matt Shuckman stories that you can share that may have impacted you in a positive way, or is it the opposite?
I mean, Matt Shuckman in a way is like not only my brother as a friend, but like a professional brother, because when he came in there to the Herald-Whig, he was so talented as a writer that, I learned from him, watching him do interviews. I was like, oh, that was a damn good question. I didn't think of that. And then just reading his stories, he gets little details that a lot of people don't, or he has a way to tell a story that a lot of people don't. And I think people in Quincy and the whole area are really fortunate that you have somebody that talented telling your stories. I really do.
His head is just swelled to the size of the studio now.
No. I'm embarrassed.
Yes.
But, okay, so Rabbi bragged on me. I'll brag on Rabbi.
Yes.
Never a better bulldog in the media business. Wanting to go get a story and then producing it. Not only does he go find it, not take no for an answer, but then when you get it, he gets all the details and all, I could go on and on about how good Rabby is, and there's a reason why he's elevated to publisher of Pigs.com. But Rabby, you jumped in on this internet fad long before I did. What was the key for you of making sure when you got out of the newspaper business and into the internet business that it was going to work?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of it had to do with the guy who founded Pigs.com, is a guy named Mike Pegram. And the site is called Pigs.com because Pigs was his nickname back when he was in college. He was actually an outstanding swimmer at Indiana, which obviously has produced, Olympians, national champions, all that kind of stuff. He was actually really good, really, really good swimmer. And so anyway, he's running Pigs.com and obviously covering recruiting. I'm covering recruiting for the Indy Star. And so, we're crossing paths, we're at some events, we get to know each other. And about maybe, 16, 18 months before I actually made the jump, he started talking to me about, hey, why don't you come work for me? And at first, I was kind of like, man, I like you and I love what you do at your site, but like, okay, how does this work? Help me understand. Cause it was a big thing to leave the Indy Star, a major metro newspaper, for a .com, when I did almost 15 years ago, in 2011, it was a big jump.
Yep.
And so there's a little bit of you trying to understand the business. You're trying to understand how does this actually work and everything. And, he and I just talked a lot about it. And then he explained it to me. And I think a lot of it for me was just, a lot of trust in an individual person who you like, who you respect. Mike's got an MBA, so he really understands the business side of things. And there was just a ton of trust. I mean, I felt like, I was going to work for somebody who I truly trusted. And that meant a lot. It meant a lot. And it was kind of strange the day I told people at the Indy Star that I was leaving. They were kind of like, why? Where are you going? I'm going to go to work for Pigs.com, cover recruiting at IU. And they were like, what are you talking about? You're going to, you might full speed in a couple of years. You're covering the Pacers right now. And that was the other thing. I was covering the Pacers when I left. Yep. And I loved covering the NBA. I absolutely, you and I talked about this. I loved it. It's a little wild. It's different. There are times, there's games on different cities, back-to-back nights. You get done riding in Boston at about midnight. You get back to your hotel, sleep for 3 hours, maybe 4, get up at 4:30, get the 6 a.m. flight to Detroit, go right to the arena for shoot-around at 11 a.m., take a nap, get up, back at the arena 3 hours before tip-off. I mean, it's a weird, for normal humans, and I don't know if any sports writer is truly normal, but for normal humans, it's a crazy schedule. But I loved it, and the Pacers were great to deal with. I had a couple of different coaches, Brian and Vogel, who were great. I had very colorful characters to cover. Jermaine O'Neal and I still talk to this day. He runs a AU program called Drive Nation. He's got a great prep school, Drive Nation Prep, down there in Texas.
Yep.
We still talk, and I even had great experiences with people like Ron Artest, who a casual person might look at and go, okay, what's the story there? Which is very understandable. But I had a great experience. So when I told the Indy Star I'm going to go to Pigs.com, there was very much a, what are you doing in response? In fact, that was the response from everybody. Upper management, middle management, colleagues. They were like, what are you doing? One of my friends at the time actually called me and said, Rab, I got to talk you out of this. You're going to kill your career. Don't do this. I said, not only am I not going to kill my career, I think these sites are going to be the next big thing. And I appreciate your concern coming from the place of care, but I am out. And now you look at what Gannett and some other corporate entities have done to newspapers. They destroyed them. They just destroyed them. So, but anyway, it took a little while for me to be convinced, but a lot of it was trusting an individual.
Well, you convinced me to make that leap. And it's the best thing I could have done.
Good. I remember those conversations you had. I remember them well.
Well, I know you got a lot going on the Indiana football front and the Indiana basketball front. By the way, though, Mizzou has the #1 recruiting class in the nation, just in case you hadn't heard that.
Hey, who texted you a couple of days before old Mr. Jason? Huh? Who told you I'm done?
I know.
This is good. Don't tell anybody. Keep it quiet, but this is going to happen.
I know. You keep me in the loop, which I very much appreciate. So, brother,
no, they have done a great job. Your Tigers get a ton of credit.
Yep. Dennis Gates is getting it done. So, awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to break down some college football with us, and really enjoyed the conversation.
Always good talking with you, brother. Chris, good talking with you as well. You guys have a great week.
Take care, Rab.
You too. I'll be in touch.
Sounds good.
That was Jeff Rab Johns, publisher of Pigs.com. Covers Indiana University athletics, coming off that big win over Illinois on Saturday.
How come you're not sharing any of your Mizzou basketball intel with the rest of us Mizzou fans out
Hey,
here?
I'm supposed to keep things quiet, so I keep it quiet, like I'm asked to do.
Man, that's some heavy insider goodness.
So that was good, and I know that wasn't hyper local like we normally talk about, but I thought the insight into that UND doesn't get as much traction, or maybe gets more traction than maybe we realize in that town.
Yeah.
Because you don't hear a lot in the media about UND. Obviously, we know a lot about it because we cover the GLVC.
I also think there's a lot of almost like the media, the mafia with the media, that people disappear and you never hear where they're at or what they're doing again. And Jeff's done an incredible job with himself and fought the uphill battle, swam uphill when nobody else, nobody else was doing that. Yep. And look where he's at now. So it's an incredible story for a guy who got to start right here in Quincy, Illinois.
Been a lot of fun. So appreciate Rabby joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. We're going to take a break.
And then what are we going to do?
We're going to shuck them up.
We're going to shuck them up.
And a good one that you got on Saturday night on the very first play of the game.
Oh, I can't wait to see what I got on the very first play.
Exactly. So stick around. Shuck 'em Up's coming up next, brought to you by Platte Daddy Barbecue. This is Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
We're at the forefront. We're the cutting edge of our industry right now.
Whether it's dry needling, blood flow restriction,
From performance prevention, therapy, all those aspects, it's all under one roof. I see huge returns as far as athletes getting better quicker.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
The aging population has more needs and they respond really well to what we do.
You don't have to live in pain every day.
Whether it's pain, whether it's motion, whether it's strength, they have a better quality of life just by providing an intervention.
If you're not sure, just come in for a consultation.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Chris Stewart, your advanced age, you forget things lickety-split, don't you?
I do. I was just having to quiz you. I couldn't remember what I shot on Saturday night. I had so many good defensive highlights.
You did.
A cornucopia to choose from.
There was. But there was one, as I went back and watched your highlights, and again, I watched the QU football game at Lincoln in Jefferson City, the whole thing on the GLVC Sports Network.
And simultaneously played Where's Waldo with my bald head on the sideline.
Yes, we certainly did.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. There were some other QU coaches that watched the game with me, and yes, they had fun pointing out where you were.
Yeah.
So, and we may have texted you a time or two.
I heard about it, yes. My phone dinging in my back pocket.
But one of those hits was the Kickstarter of everything. And as I went back and watched the highlights, I went, that's got to be Shuck 'em Up.
Yeah, I mean, and now that you've refreshed my memory to what I saw on Saturday night, I do remember that was a tone setter by every definition, and the defense had played so well from that point forward.
Correct.
There was a swagger that was missing in Chicago.
Yeah, and it was back against Lincoln for the GLVC opener. So, Jalen Vaughn, senior defensive or graduate student defense. I'm so tired of all that because there's so many transfers and so many guys with extra years of eligibility.
Yes.
You're a senior or you're not.
That's fair.
Yeah, okay. Jalen Vaughn, defensive tackle. You shucked him up. So let's go to Shuck 'em Up by Platte Daddy Barbecue.
Shuck 'em up!
That was a pretty good hit by Jalen Vaughn.
Full circle moment, because if it weren't for QU football, we wouldn't have a Shuck 'em Up.
True. That's where the idea for Shuck 'em Up came from. Coach Dan McEwen comes up to me after a practice one day, and, that's where he decided to tell his guys to go shuck 'em up, because I was sitting on the defensive sideline during practice, and, So thank you, Coach Q.
When they're good, like they were.
Or Coach Dan. I got to remember, some guys call him Coach Q, some call him Coach Dan. The little ones, so they don't get confused, call him Coach Dan.
Okay, that makes sense.
But again, that was a great idea by him, and thank you to Jeremy Platt over at Platte Daddy Barbecue for sponsoring Shuck 'em Up, and thank you, Jalen Vaughn, for
great highlight.
For putting Isaiah Tate face down on the turf.
It's a good way to start. Let the quarterback know you're there from play number one.
And again, if you go back and watch Chris's highlights from that game, there are a lot of plays that Brock Wiley had a couple hits that could have been Shuck 'em Up, or Aiden Bowe had a hit that you even said in your highlight package was a candidate for Shuck 'em Up. So the Hawks responded well to the bye week and the loss leading into the bye week with a pretty solid effort against Lincoln. And it's going to get harder, though, moving forward.
It is, but it was nice to see that energy back, some of the same crispness and, aggressiveness that marked that season opening win. It was back in Jefferson City.
Yes.
And again, I think people underestimate that Lincoln University team isn't bad.
No, not at all. And again, I think Moses Harper, the head coach there, has done a nice job in his 2 years. He was a first-year head coach last year.
Right.
Kind of retooling that program. He's brought in, Isaiah Tate's a heck of an athlete at quarterback.
Well, when he took off and ran, you could tell there was a different level of speed, and everybody on the field saw it.
Yeah, so it's pretty impressive. But again, a better Lincoln team means the depth of the GLVC is better, and you're going to get tested more week in and week out, which is exactly what QU needs.
Well, and I think they learned the lesson that you can't just saunter in off a win and expect people to fall at your feet, because that's not going to happen anywhere in the schedule. Right. That's part of why Jason Kilday upgraded the schedule the way he did, because he wanted to force his team to grow. And I think after that hiccup, week 2, we saw growth this week, definitely, and a good kind of growth on both sides of the football.
Well, and now they've got to go to Detroit this weekend. You're not making that drive.
No, I'm not. I've got some fun plans for Saturday. You and I may both end up in the same place for a little while on Saturday.
Very well could happen. We'll see how the week transpires. But a Wayne State team that's 0-3 going into this week, lost to Tiffin, lost to Findlay, and lost to Wisconsin lacrosse.
Was that a 3-7 game against Finley? I did not realize
You just said 3-7 game.
I'm sorry, I read it the wrong way. 7-3 game.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
goodness.
Dude, it was looking at this way. It was left to right reading, like you're supposed to read. I did not mean that. You sit down. I looked at it the wrong way. I'm sorry. Bad doer. Show up late, can't get the score read right.
3-7.
I'm sorry, it read right to left or left to right in this particular case. I'm an old man. I can't be asked to deal with
a good opportunity for the Hawks to go on the road, get a victory before coming back home. And again, they go up to Wayne State, take care of business the way it appears they should. And then you come back home for McKendree, you go to Jewel before going to Truman.
It's a pretty good little run of games right there. We'll know a lot. And then what, Missouri S&T after that?
Yeah, Missouri S&T. Then
the biggie with UIndy.
Three of the Final Four at home.
Okay.
Missouri S&T, UIndy, and then Southwest Baptist to wrap it up. That comes after a trip to Upper Iowa. Have you ever been to Fayette, Iowa?
I have never been to Fayette,
I never have either.
I've been a lot of places in Iowa, never to Fighting Peacock Land.
I don't know if Fighting Peacock Land deserves a trip this year because that will also be high school football playoff weekend.
Yeah, it's probably not happening.
So it's probably not happening. Sorry, Coach Kilday. But again, it's going to be an interesting year. WIU lost on the road. Yes. Eastern Washington. Culver lost at home in a game with a lot of points.
Yes.
I don't know. Is defense optional in the Heart this year?
I'm sure that doesn't sit well with Coach Sally.
Probably not.
With all the dedicated time spent to the defense this past week. But yes.
Yeah.
Rough week for everybody but Quincy University on that front.
Yep. So, again, we'll talk a little bit more about that as the weeks go on. We'll continue to talk plenty of college football. But we need to take one more break, and then we'll come back and go through what's upcoming this week.
Okay.
And then wrap it up.
Okay.
Awesome. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
We asked you what your favorite thing is about fall, and here's what you said. So no matter what you're looking forward to, there's something for you that's on sale at your local Farm and Home Supply right now. Take your pick from our beautiful 8-inch flowering mums for only $5.99. Your fall fashion is on sale, including $10 off Wrangler Bespoke Denim. Pick up a big bag of this winterizer lawn food for under $30. Get a 2-pack of these Cell trail cameras for under $80. Find all these deals and more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough Districts Hospital.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We are nearing the end of a 2-hour sojourn talking football.
It's been a great night.
It has been.
A lot of great guests, a lot of great talk, a lot of great intel.
And thank you again, Tony Williams, the JT's Journey t-shirts. And again, shout out to JT Thomas. Hope you get the opportunity to watch this. I know you're stuck in a hospital right now, but the progress we're being told seems positive.
Prayer works, and, and the continued prayer works even more. So thanks to everybody who had JT in their thoughts. And
we know we've had some requests for what about information on donations? I know they're collecting donations in Palmyra. We'll try to get you some more information if there's anything specific. There's no like GoFundMe page or anything. I know some people have asked because they didn't want to do that, and I understand all that. So I know you can drop some donations off. One of the banks over in Palmyra.
Okay.
But we'll get you more information on that to make sure I don't want to say anything wrong.
Sure.
But I know they are collecting donations, and I know the purchase of these T-shirts goes to that and everything else. So, and again, the Rayson Miller was fantastic. Joining us in studio tonight, not only talking about JT and the way the Palmyra football team has adapted to this and dealt with this and the emotional side of it, but love hearing him talk about his baseball days and and what he looks forward to, hopefully as a college baseball career. And great stuff from him, great stuff from Ben Shelp.
Indeed.
So
again, I think we landed guests, and we're more than just talking to coaches. We're talking to everybody.
Yeah.
To give you as complete a flavor of football in our area as we humanly can.
So I want to thank Robert Gail, the Truman State product, Highland product, for joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline, as long as Peaks.com publisher Jeff Rab Johns, my former cohort at the Quincy Herald-Whig.
Yes, and
back in the day.
Best man at your wedding?
He was the best man at my wedding. I was the best man in his wedding. So
very cool.
Yes. And that's where the story ends.
No, I'm not asking any further.
I know you're. Yeah, I know. I see that look on your face.
No, I behaved myself tonight.
You did.
I had Rabby right there, and I could have asked anything.
Rabby behaved himself.
Well, that was
even
more impressive knowing Jeff Rab Johns.
Or more shocking.
Yes.
So again, big week coming up. Make sure you check out the Muddy River Blitz on Saturday morning. Electrified by Excel Physical Therapy. Collection of all our video highlights from throughout the coverage area. It won't be just one game or two games. We try to get 3, 4, 5. We get some video interviews out of it. We're trying to do a multiple of different things. And we're going to add, it won't be part of the Blitz, but we're going to add to it this week with some video highlights of Quincy University soccer at home.
Playing very well on both the men's and women's side right now.
No question about it. So they begin their GLVC slate at home. They've already played on the road. But again, Friday night at Legends Stadium. So we'll get you some video highlights of that. Maybe have a couple stories coming up on the Hawks over the next week or two because they got some big games coming up.
They do. And it's, again, we're trying to be all things to all people. I mean, and I think the fun of pictures and stories and videos. And Shane did 6.5 minutes on Palmyra Highland. I did 5.5 minutes on Brown County. There was a lot out there that you can't find anywhere else.
So we had a fun Shuck on a Truck on Sunday. Madeline Hamby and Quincy High School Volleyball joined us.
One of my favorite kids.
So that was fun to do. We got another Shuck on a Truck coming up a little later this week. Talking about sports cards and collectibles.
Oh, yes, you had promised us a collectible.
So there's a collectible show, card collecting show, coming up this weekend on Saturday at the Knights of Columbus. So we give you a little insight into what's going to happen there.
And as we alluded to earlier in the show, we've got a bit of a reunion coming up this weekend in Lewis County that may be on our radar for Sunday as well.
So lots to look forward to. Again, Friday night can't get here quick enough.
Never.
Mr. Antsy Pants.
Yeah, I can't sit around like people do and wait for football. I'd rather drive to New Berlin like I did last week.
You just got to burn energy, don't you?
Yeah, I can't sit still.
Well, that's good because we got plenty for you to do this week.
Well, that's good. I like doing plenty.
Awesome. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Thank you for getting here, even though you were late.
You know, blame Quincy University volleyball for not starting off,
Quincy High
volleyball for not starting off very strong tonight.
That's all right. We will have highlights of volleyball on our site tomorrow, along with Western Big Six golf and all kinds of things.
Indeed.
Awesome. For Chris Dewar, I'm Matt Shuckman. This has been another episode of Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.